listening.
Okay.
All right. This is Angelina. I'm your interlocutor for IELTS B1 Life Skills Speaking and Listening Test. Elsie, you are candidate A. Layla, candidate B. Candidate A, can I have your full name, please?
Sure. My name is Elsie Hinarara Cormo.
What's your nationality?
My nationality is Filipino.
And where do you live?
I'm presently living here in Cyprus.
Thank you. Candidate B, can I have your full name, please?
My name is Ilieva Leila, but you can call me Leila.
What's your nationality?
I'm Russian.
And where do you live?
I live in Moscow, Russia.
Thank you so much. Now, candidate A and candidate B, I want you to find out from each other about your interests. I want you both to ask each other questions about your interests, right? Candidate A will also ask questions about something interesting that she likes to do, right? Candidate A, first you will begin.
Okay, Laila, I am really interested to do some handmade things like recycle things. And, I have some, I want to learn more about handmade things. How about you? Do you have any uh, interesting skill?
Yes, I like to paint art in my free time, and also I like to read books and listen to music. How about you? Do you?
Well, aside from like DIY things, I am really interested also of uh, learn how to cook international food,
Mm-hmm.
because I want to learn to uh, the way that they prepare the like in the hotel, it's really nice, from the platters. And also I'm interested to learn the fruit carving, something like that. Fruit carving. How about you? Do
Mm-hmm.
you have something interested aside from painting or something like that?
Oh yes, I also like to know how to cook new dishes from world's cuisine,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I also interested in computer skills. So I want to know how to do an application. I want to try it someday, but now I just watching video on YouTube and trying to remember all the information. Do you have an interest on computer skills?
Well, yes, I have interested with computer skills, because nowadays all things are really into computer, especially like what we have now. It's online classes, and I want to learn many application, many like link or something that they are really into computer, like IT programming, or Microsoft something. So I'm so interested to learn more about computer.
Mm-hmm. Do you interested in uh, new gadgets, like new smartphones, new laptops, or new tablets?
Well,
Do,
speaking of
do you follow the news?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
well, speaking of interest about new gadget, about iPhone is yearly they have a new brand or new updated brand. But I'm really just only dreaming of that, how maybe someday I can have that a new iPhone. Like now we have iPhone 14, but it's just only a dream, because I know that I cannot, I cannot afford to buy for it. But how about you? Do you have a new? Do you update yearly your iPhone or your gadget?
Well, not yearly, but yes, I'm interested in new technologies, also in new technologies in mobile phone sphere. And last year, for example, for I decided to buy a Christmas gift for myself, and it was
Mm-hmm.
iPhone 13 Pro Max, the gold one, of course, because I'm a girl. So, and it looks very girly. So I decided to treat myself for
Oh,
Christmas time. And uh, do
Well,
you?
thank you, candidate A and candidate B. Now, I want you guys to plan together as your friend is getting married and you both are planning for a venue for the wedding, okay? So you have to plan and decide together which venue would be suitable to tell your friend about, because you both will decide together to suggest it further to your friend regarding that venue, wedding venue. Would you like to
Mhm.
talk about it for 2 minutes? Decide
okay,
and plan together.
okay.
Okay.
I, so we know that our friends are looking for a venue. Do you have any suggestion about the nice venue that she like?
Uh, well, I don't know now, but I think we should ask her how many guests will arrive on this mm,
Wedding?
on the wedding. On the
Yeah,
wedding, yes. And does she like flowers? What kind of flowers does she like? And what does she want uh, to see? What kind of chair does she prefer? And what kind of music does she like? Do you have any information of this, or maybe you can add something that we should
yeah,
know from her?
yeah. About talking about the venue, so I have some idea, because we never decided which one, because we're talking about the chair and the flowers. But first we need to go on a venue, like, as I know that they have some garden wedding garden,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have some beach wedding, and we have some hotel. So we need to ask her what is she like. She like garden wedding, she like beach wedding, or she like hotel wedding,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Oh, yes, yes, of course. And we need to uh, count seats also, and ask if some preacher will be available on this date. Yeah, and
Yeah, I think
uh,
we need to inquire, if like we inquire the three
mm-hmm,
venue
mm-hmm.
that we're planning for, if what she like, if she like garden wedding, and then we set up, we need to contact some uh
Yes, we need to
wedding
inquire this
planning.
person
Yeah,
from yes, and ask him or her all about all the information we need, and give this information to our friend, and will help. She will help us to make a right choice.
yeah, I think the best venue, as I know, in my opinion, is the best venue is the garden wedding, because
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of flowers, and the fresh air, that it's really nice ambience in in the garden wedding. And I
Mm-hmm.
really like that. What do you think about?
I think that we should ask if some allergics will be on the wedding, because the flowers, it's very strong uh, aller- uh, allergic.
Fragrance,
Okay,
fragrance, beautiful fragrance.
yes, they have very strong fragrance, and it could be dangerous for allergic people. We need to ask our friend about this type of guests if they will be on the wedding. So if there will be, so we need to know what kind of flowers will be in this garden and
Okay.
give this information to her.
Yeah. So
Thank
it's
you.
our
Thank you so much, candidate A and candidate B. Time is up for the discussion, sorry, for the planning section. Now we will move to the next section. In this section, I want you to talk about life in city and life in the countryside. Remember, I can be
Mhm.
equally participating in this task as well with impromptu questions. If you will lose track, I'll guide you with more questions. Comparison between life in the city and life in the countryside. Okay? You have
okay.
3 minutes for this. Your time begins now.
Okay. Laila, as I grow in the countryside, uh, in the countryside we have
Mhm.
some
Yes, yes,
our
I know.
specialty is farming, and we have some uh, less facilities for hospital, and also we have some updated or school something. Uh, and unlike in city, they have so many facilities, right? And
Mhm.
created, or there's a lot some shop malls, some transportation like that. So what can you uh, what's your opinion about the city and the countryside?
Well, I'm totally agree with you because I think that in this city there is a very good public transport system that you in the city you can find uh, airports. Mm, you can use car with and you well just a moment. You can go by car to the shopping mall. You can shop wherever you want, and it you can find more school with high quality education. You can find more university. By the way,
Yeah.
I think in the countryside there are no university, or maybe one on few villages, or I don't know, maybe more than few.
There's some fresh air, and the
Mm-hmm.
rainies and the fresh vegetable or fresh like milk, and you can find it. It's very different. There's a more advantages of a good health in the countryside than the city, right? But the disadvantages with this in the countryside, hospital, transportation,
Mm-hmm.
and also some school, as what we talking about. But I think some people also now is they migrate to the city because of their opportunity, like job opportunity that they are looking for, to find some good job that they cannot find in the countryside. And also there's some people also migrate to the countryside because they are really crazy of pollution, they are crazy of traffic, and they are really crazy of some
Yeah,
people.
healthcare. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you know it's
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it, do
Well,
you
yes,
agree?
I agree with you. Also, I can add that after the coronavirus, I'm talking about my country, some
Mhm.
people decided to change their mind about city life and the countryside life because they preferred to move from city to countryside because for example, if they have kids, their kids can go out every time they want because they have a playgrounds in the garden, like it will, and
Yeah.
they can watch after look after their children. So
Mhm.
I think there are two types of people. Uh, some of them choose city life, and some of them choose countryside life. It depends uh, of what they needed just now in the
Yeah,
moment, right
yeah,
now in the moment. And if they have a car, or they have like, mobility, they can choose. Or if they work uh, distantly, yes, no,
yeah.
uh,
I think
uh,
I
not
think
in the
something.
office, I mean.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
like okay, talking about the migration, just because of what happened for the pandemic, like what you told,
Mhm.
we transfer or migrate to the countryside. But the problem is, when it comes of uh like accident or something, or they don't have any transportation, that the
Mhm.
we arise on the people in the countryside. But the advantage is also when you are in the city, uh, you have all the facilities and opportunity for
Mhm.
any daily needs also, like, well, like medicine, when
Mhm.
if you have some illness and you really need some maintenance for medicine. So I think there's so many advantages that you are living in the city also, like uh, some
Yes,
people are,
sure. It's easy to make an appointment by call
yeah,
or by using
true.
the internet. Yes, yes. I'm totally agree with you.
Yeah, also
Yes.
in the countryside also, I think now, I don't know if they have some internet also, and it's really difficult to communicate the people, or something happened to your, like, in your house in the countryside, if you don't have internet, if you don't have any mobile phone or something, if you don't have a car. So that's
Mm-hmm.
big problem in the countryside also. If you are just depending on public transportation, that public transportation in the countryside, they have some schedule to travel to the city, like 1 hour or 2 hours that you need to wait, right? I don't know if it's,
Yes, 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 yes. They have scheduled transportation system, and in the city, I think transport goes one by one, or by one by one after another.
yeah,
Buses, or in the subway, for example.
yeah,
Yes,
it's,
All
and
right.
by the way,
Well,
neighbor.
thank you. Thank
Mhm.
you. The discussion time is over. Now it is time for the listening apologies. So, what's the woman's favorite free time activity, right? The listening section, candidate A, you will tell me what's the woman's favorite free time activity in recording one, using mobile, learning English, or painting. And what is the woman's favorite free time activity in the second recording, using mobile, learning English, or painting? Please listen carefully and answer.
Recording 1.
Well, my favorite free time activity is learning English. As I'm flying to UK in 2 to 3 months, my husband lives in the UK and I'm supposed to learn English. I am taking English classes online, and my class starts at 6 p.m. in the evening. And I am learning a lot. I'm learning the British accent and a lot of British slangs that I would be using once I start living in the UK. So, whatever free time I get, I like to read English books, watching English movies, or sometimes I also like to talk to my husband in English. And um, after my class, I like to cook food for my mother, and we enjoy it together. I always share the new words that I learn with my mother. I think practice makes perfect.
Recording 2.
My passion is painting, and it's been almost 10 years I'm painting. I started painting when I was very young. My mother tells me that I was only 3 years old when I used to draw funny pictures and sketches of my family, and she has shown me my sketches from my childhood. I think I've got it since that young age. And I think my passion grew, and then I started learning how to paint. And now I can paint so well. I have painted dozens of beautiful scenic scenes. I've painted flowers, trees, mountains, planets, and so many other things. I've also painted my grandpa's picture, and it looks so real. I normally paint on weekends as I go to university and I do not get time to paint every day, but it is one of my favorite free time activities.
All right. Candidate B, from the first recording, you have to tell me why is she learning English and what is she learning about the British English? And you may also tell me one extra question. What does she do after the class? Candidate A, from the second recording, you have to tell me what does her mother tell her about her painting? And how did she start painting? You also have to tell me about the things that she likes to paint. Listen, are you ready to listen?
Yeah.
Recording 1.
Well, my favorite free time activity is learning English as I'm flying to UK in 2 to 3 months. My husband lives in the UK and I'm supposed to learn English. I am taking English classes online and my class starts at 6 p.m. in the evening. And I am learning a lot. I'm learning the British accent and a lot of British slangs that I would be using once I start living in the UK. So, whatever free time I get, I like to read English books, watching English movies, or sometimes I also like to talk to my husband in English. And um, after my class, I like to cook food for my mother and we enjoy it together. I always share the new words that I learn with my mother. I think practice makes perfect.
Recording 2.
My passion is painting, and it's been almost 10 years I'm painting. I started painting when I was very young. My mother tells me that I was only 3 years old when I used to draw funny pictures and sketches of my family, and she has shown me my sketches from my childhood. I think I've got it since that young age. And I think my passion grew, and then I started learning how to paint, and now I can paint so well. I have painted dozens of beautiful scenic scenes. I've painted flowers, trees, mountains, planets, and so many other things. I've also painted my grandpa's picture, and it looks so real. I normally paint on weekends as I go to university and I do not get time to paint every day, but it is one of my favorite free time activities.
Yeah.
Okay. Candidate B, please tell me from the first recording, why is she learning English?
Because her husband lives in the UK.
Yeah, and would you tell me what is she learning about British English?
She learns slang words to use in the UK.
And
Mhm.
and one more thing. Slang and British accent. So accent and slang words. And what does she do after the class?
She cook food and share with mother what she learned. That she learned a lot.
Yeah, new words. That's right. Okay, correct answers. Okay, would you please tell me, candidate A, from the second recording, what does her mother tell her about her paintings?
Well, her mother told her about her painting that she's beginning to paint or draw when she was 3 years old.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and how did she start painting?
Well, she started painting and doing some sketches with her picture family picture.
In the beginning. Yeah, she started
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
sketch. So who has she painted from the family? Whose picture has she painted?
Well, she paint her grandpa picture.
Okay, what kind of things does she like to paint?
She liked to paint about flowers and some. Uh, oh my god, I lost it. Some um,
It's all
sketches
right.
of. Okay,
It's all
I
right.
lost it now. I just lost it.
Flowers and stuff. Okay, it's all right. I
Yeah.
just want to give you a tip for listening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as you know, beautiful, that in the listening task of B1, they go into a little bit of detail. They're not going to ask you like a very simple question, why, when, where. They're trying to go for like reasons why is that, how did she do that? You know, so like taking the understanding of English on another level. I think you did a good job. Make sure that you make notes of all the important points that your examiner will ask you about, right? That I asked you guys extra questions today. I don't know what was on my mind, but I
It's
wanted to
okay.
check.
Yeah, I love it because
Yeah. So two questions only, okay?
yeah.